recording this. Well, thank you. Hello, and thank you for joining us. Our presentation today is on navigating payer portals. We'll be discussing the various functions payer portals have and advantages and some disadvantages of using payer portals in the office. Our goal is that by the end of the presentation, you'll have a better idea of what benefits payer portals may bring to your office. I wanted to take a moment to thank Pekka for allowing us time to conduct this session and share information with you. I do want to mention during the presentation, all participants will be muted. However, please feel free to use the question section to ask questions. There will be a question and answer session at the end. Additionally, we do want to let you know the session will be recorded and the slide deck will be sent out afterward, so everyone will have a copy of it. My name is Danielle Kiger, and I'm a Billing Services Group Manager with RevCycle Partners. I've worked in the optometric space since 2008 in various capacities. I have with me today Monica Kinnamore.
Hello, I'm Monica Kinnamore, and I work here at RevCycle Partners as a billing service group manager. I've worked in the optometric field since 2008, working in all aspects of the optometric practice.
When reviewing payer portals, it is important to assess your office and what payers you currently take. For the most part, each payer does have a portal of some type available. It is just a matter of what payer and what portal is available. Some very common portals are VSP, IMED, various Medicare contractor portals, and Availity. Some portals, like Availity, house information from many payers, not just one, making it a great portal to use in the office. Just as each state has payers specific to that state, each state may have different insurance portals or payers available on sites like Availity or One Healthport. It is important to review what payers you take in the office and whether information can be found. Searching for each payer on Google or another search engine should tell you where they house their information on their own specific portal or on an aggregate portal like Availity. Many, if not all, payer portals include user guides and training videos to help offices navigate and get started using the various functions of the portals. These user guides and training videos are the best resource for the most efficient utilization of the portals, as they will explain the various abilities of the portals. For example, actions such as claim submission, claims appeals, and eligibility search. The payer portals generally also house the provider manuals. More and more, the provider manuals are only available after logging into the payer portals. The provider manual for a payer is a great resource for the office as it will explain what is expected for claim submission, but also the benefits available from the payer and other important information. Verifying patient eligibility prior to the patient being seen in office is another benefit most payer portals provide. This can allow for rescheduling if needed due to benefits not being available prior to the patient being in the office, and a better understanding of patient benefits. What materials are available? Do the patients have a medical copay? Is a prior authorization or a referral required? And so on. Understanding the patient benefits also makes for cleaner billing. If a patient does not have a benefit for a service, they can be made aware prior to the service being performed instead of a denial being received and attempting to get payment after the time of service. Knowing what copays a patient owes allows for better checkout procedures as well. If your office takes Medicare or Medicaid, the portal for either of these should also let you know if the patient has a managed care plan. Knowing this will allow the proper insurance cards to be collected and make for accurate billing. Another benefit is direct claim submissions, which is available through most payer portals. For portals like VSP and IMED, keying in the claims helps speed processing times and allows for you to see what the patient will owe the office in real time without needing to worry about a claim being lost through the mail. Most medical payers also allow manual claim submissions through their portals in various forms. Some sites allow a file upload to their site, while others require manual claim keying, allowing you to submit the claims without the aid of a clearinghouse. Direct entry, whether uploading or claims keying, saves time over mailing the claims. When mailing, you have to ensure the correct address for the plan is on the claim, as well as spend money on the postage. There's no way to track a mailed claim without additional expense, and most insurance payers process electronic claims first, causing claims that were mailed to have additional processing time, slowing compensation to the office. When entering the claim through the portal, you are provided a timestamp of when the claim was submitted, which helps if needed for later appeals. Even if you currently have a clearinghouse, claim entry on medical portals can be beneficial for secondary or tertiary claim submissions. Unfortunately, not all claims process as smoothly as one would hope and can age into older AR. Having the payer portal for as many payers as possible can help ease the burden of working AR in many ways. The most convenient is being able to check on claim status without lengthy phone calls. Being able to access claim status through a portal frees up staff time and can allow more AR to be worked. Many payers are also now requiring claim status to be checked on the portals prior to a phone call being made. Being able to have the claim number and information on the claim prior to calling the insurance company also helps if the insurance company does need called, as it allows for a more detailed conversation over just a status check. Many payer portals now have the ability for claim corrections to be done directly on the portal. Both VSP and IMED, among other payers, have the ability for corrections and edits through the portal with quick turnaround times. Instead of waiting on hold to get a representative or mailing a corrected claim and waiting for it to be processed, the online payer corrections allows claims to be corrected more quickly and accurately. Most Medicaid portals will also tell you if the claim you have submitted is accepted or if there was an error, what the error is, and allow you to correct the claim in real time. Not only do portals allow for claims corrections, some also allow for submission of appeals through their portals. Taking advantage of the ability to submit appeals allows you to see that an appeal has been received, removing the uncertainty with mailed appeals. With online appeals, generally you are given a reference number and a timestamp, which is helpful if making calls to check on the status of an appeal. In order for claims to process, payers sometimes require supporting documentation, whether that is medical records or primary EOBs. Many payer portals allow for supporting documentation to be uploaded and attached to a claim through the portal. This allows for better accuracy for appeals and claims reprocessing, as it does not rely on the payer receiving and scanning in the materials, prevents the documentation from getting lost in the mail, and gives a reference number for tracking and proof of documentation being sent. Many times, uploading the documentation instead of mailing also allows for a quicker turnaround time for claims processing, reprocessing, and appeals. Payer chats and secure messaging is another benefit of many payer portals. Some of the most common tasks that can be completed through the secure chat and messaging are claims and appeal status, as well as additional denial information and benefits, while others also allow voiding claims, getting updated authorizations, and patient benefit verification. Using the secure messaging and chats saves time from sitting on hold with a payer. Generally, the wait time for the secure chats is less than the phone hold times, freeing up staff to work on other claims or duties.
Security for sensitive data. There are many reasons why sensitive data needs to be stored for security reasons that aids in the practice and the patient while navigating the payer portal. Some sensitive data for the practice can include appeals and grievances, credentialing, and fee schedules. And for the patient, this can include benefits and eligibility, claim inquiries, pre-authorization referrals, and regulations and privacy. To be secured when setting up the payer portal, there will need to be an admin selected to oversee the regulations of access. The doctor or the office manager are primarily considered to be the admin. Please keep in mind this could be time consuming in some instances. Some of the responsibilities for the admin include granting access to employees or third-party vendors, limiting access per an employee's role to accommodate for PHI, and to restrict access when an employee leaves employment. With an admin selected, we are ready to review password security. Insurance companies will grant you access to use their payer portal if you are registered with them. The key is to have a secured password per NIST, which gives cybersecurity recommendations. With the portals needing to be secured with a password, some portals take in more secured elements than others. Consider using a password manager. The password manager will choose a secured password and save it to the cloud. There are many different password managers, but to name a few, there are NordPass, RoboForm, and LastPass. In the portal, the admin can choose a setting to regularly prompt the change of password to every employee. It is preferred changing the password every 6 months in the least for an extra security depth. Creating individual logins for all employees and third-party vendors is ideal. Some values are employee permissions, keeping the specific settings separate, and employee files kept private, keeping the PHI secured. Another security feature is the multi-factor authentication, also known as the MFA. Most insurance companies have or are in the process of becoming even more secured by applying the MFA. Now, what is an MFA and why should I know about it? The MFA is an electronic authentication method in which a user is granted access to a website or application only first after successfully presenting 2 or more pieces of evidence to an authentication mechanism. This is widely utilized and is moving towards being the most common way to verify access within security capacities. Some of the best practices for the functionality of the MFA could be to create a shared office email that can obtain 2-factor codes for verification when issued by the payer portal, or consider an office cell phone, as this can eliminate the personal cell phone usage. While there are many advantages of payer portals, there are a few disadvantages as well. Sites do sometimes go down, either for periodic maintenance or for other factors, which can cause some issues if using for claim submissions. Generally, site outages are short in duration, but this is something that the office should be made aware of. With each payer portal being different in setup and what functions they have available, there's sometimes a learning curve for the portals and with training new staff. It is important to look at the benefits offered to your offices from the portals and weigh against these disadvantages. Each portal does also require some setup time for both the admin and for any accounts being made under the admin login. Each office must weigh the initial setup time of the portals against the benefits they provide. Many payers are requiring payer portals to be exercised for claim status, EOBs, and eligibility. Payer portals can save time from eligibility and benefits to claims, research, and appeals. Sensitive data can be kept secured with admin capabilities. Using a password manager will help password security measurements. And know the MFAs and the best practice for application. If you have any questions, please enter them into the chat while we collect everyone's questions. We're going to go ahead and take this moment to talk about our available services that we do offer. RevCycle Partners is a revenue cycle management company. We specialize in providing services to the eye care industry. Our team is composed of experts who have had real-world experience working in the eye care offices. We offer 3 different services, but the biggest is our billing service. We do allow our customers to customize the portion of their billing needs they would like us to assist with. We can provide billing services for only medical claims, only vision claims, or both medical and vision claims. Our services include scrubbing claims, looking for and adding modifiers when appropriate, claim submissions for medical claims, claim corrections, and appeals. We also post insurance payments and work your age claims. In addition to the ongoing billing service, we offer an AR cleanup for projects for the claims that would have otherwise have been outside of our services. If, for example, you have fallen behind on your aging and needed a little assistance catching up, but don't necessarily want us to take over your billing, you can sign up for a limited time AR cleanup project. Our fees are based on our net receipts. We only charge a percentage of what you are paid by the insurance company. We do not include patient copays, deductibles, or coinsurance when calculating our fees. For medical claims billing, we charge 7.5% of the net medical receipts. For vision claims billing, we charge 4.25% of the net vision receipts. And for the AR projects, those are custom quotes based on the needs of your office. If you are interested in getting more information about our services, I will leave this slide up during our questions and answers so you can grab our contact information.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started answering a few questions. If there is anything that you have a question on, please go ahead and put it in the question and answers box. We'll go ahead and answer that for you. All right, so Monica, I think this one is for you. We had set up our old office manager as admin on most of our payer portals. She is no longer an employee, and we are having a very hard time getting her removed from things. Do you have any advice?
Yes, and that is a very, very good question. I also have some ideas that I can also share with you. First of all, what you would need to do is contact that payer portal, let them know that there's been an admin change. There probably is going to be some paperwork, just for verification. To keep everything together. Once that's done, then you can go ahead and select a new admin. Also, kind of keep in mind, we want to select an admin that preferably is definitely not going to leave the practice. So it would be very helpful to go ahead and have the doctor be the admin. When the doctor is the admin, he can actually select someone else and give them capabilities of what the admin can do on most payer portals. So even though the doctor is the admin, there could be someone taking the place for that admin within that payer portal. So yes, I hope that helps answer your question there.
Yeah, thank you for that, Monica. All right, I'll go ahead and take this one. I'm confused by the different United Healthcare portals. Do we need to be signed up for both Optum and the United Healthcare Provider portal? So that's a really good question. They are completely, while they are all under the United Healthcare umbrella, the way United Healthcare has set things up, the best way to think about it is different apps. So Optum is more for payments. You're going to see there, the Optum's payments is where you're going to see your EFTs. Sometimes they do allow check payments also to appear on there. The United Healthcare Provider Portal is a little bit different. If you're receiving check payments to your office, that's usually where you need to go to get your EOBs. They're not sending them through the mail as much anymore, and they're also not faxing them over if you call. It's also where United Healthcare is requiring all appeals to be sent through. So we highly recommend that you have the United Healthcare Provider Portal. And then if your payments aren't coming through a clearinghouse or, you can't, a check through the mail and going on the United Healthcare Provider Portal, then the Optum portal for those EFT access is what you would want. Okay, let me see if there's any others. Is it really the best practice, and Monica, this is for you, is it really best practice to have multiple logins for one site, one for each employee?
Yes, I would say that is absolutely correct. You would definitely want everyone to have their own login per every single payer portal. This way, if someone does log in, there's kind of like a time date stamp that's kind of going on behind the scenes, and anything that you've reviewed will show up like the next time that you log in. You can kind of look at the history of what has been viewed inside that payer portal. So that is generally why it is a very good practice for everyone to have their own login.
I can I add on to that?
Yes, please.
It's also good in case you have an employee leave your practice, you can, then turn off their access to that portal. You don't have to, have one password that you have to change or update, which, can always cause problems if you're using one login for a site and you have to update many people across the office. And if you have different logins for every employee, if they leave, something happens, it's easy to just turn that access off. Okay, next question. What is the best way to know what sites we need? So I usually would recommend, whether you're using a clearinghouse or not, right? Look at the payers in your office that you are seeing the most of. If you can get your Medicare contractor site, that's a really good one to have because you can do claim reopenings on there. You can check your eligibility and benefits easily through that site. So definitely the Medicare contractor site, if your office is taking Medicare, would be one that I would recommend. They are a little bit more difficult to set up, but it's definitely worth it just because of the information that's on there and the services, the different things you can do, the claim reopenings and things like that. Of course, any vision payers that you take, a lot of those do require that manual claims keying. So you're looking at VSP, or IMED, Davis, things like that, which I guess is Versant now. Um, you know, Other payer portals, usually I would say your Blue Cross portal, if it's not on an aggregate portal like Availity or One Health Port, having your Blue Cross portal again is really helpful. And those aggregate portals like Availity and One Health Port, depending on your needs for your state. If you take Medicaid, the Medicaid portal is definitely a must. But really just assessing in your office what you take the most. And if is there anything that you feel that you're struggling with? Is benefits and eligibility for one payer over the other more difficult? And just weighing the pros and cons of that. Payer portals are really, really beneficial, and I hope we got that across to everyone today. For a multitude of reasons, and more, the payer chats are becoming super, super helpful. You can just go in, leave it up on the side, and then ask your question, get that authorization if you need it, ask your question about a claim or benefits, and then instead of being on hold, and it can just be in the background while you're doing something else, and you can go back to it. So it is just so beneficial to have these payer sites, and as we said, more and more and more payers are requiring them for different things. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions coming through, so I just want to take the time to thank you all for joining us today. And thank you again to Pekka for allowing us to have this time to speak with you. Again, the webinar is being recorded, and the slide deck will be sent out, so everyone will have access to that. All right, thank you again.